The audio portion of the following review was recorded on February 15th, 2007. This was back when I had that literal stuttering problem, remember? But yeah, I just looked through my old posts and I realized, oh crap, I promised I'd make a video review for this about 2 years ago. And it still says coming soon on the site, and I completely forgot about it. So anyway, here it is. Hey guys, to find a directory of all GamersCast video and audio reviews, head on over to gamerscastpodcast.com/reviews. Hey guys, this is Matt Goldsman from GamersCast, and here's our review of Gunstar Heroes for the Wii's Virtual Console. Rated E for everyone. Gunstar Heroes is probably one of the better Sega Genesis games that came out. And it was actually a really smart move to put it on the Virtual Console because a lot of people, when they think of the Sega Genesis, they think solely of Sonic the Hedgehog. But this game is probably easily in like Sega Genesis's top 3 games, because this one was simply an amazing game that I'm actually surprised didn't turn into a franchise of games made by Sega. So yeah, it's a first-party Sega title, and usually first-party titles are good, so. Okay, Gunstar Heroes, like I said, is a game that not many people have played unless you actually owned a Genesis, and if you've played this before, you know this is one kick-ass game. Now, the game, you start off, well, the plot isn't fully entirely clear. Yeah, there is an intro movie, and if you're watching the video review version of this, you're viewing that right now probably, and yeah, it doesn't make full sense. It seems like a guy in some red wetsuits doing something there, but who really knows? So, you start off the game, you're just a normal human character with some sort of gun. When you start off the game, you get to choose what gun you have and whether it's a fixed shot or, well, a free, not fixed shot. Fixed shots, you have to stop and shoot, but you get 8 directions to aim in. For a free shot, not fixed shot, you get to move while running. I highly recommend this while playing, but anyway, then you get to choose from one of 4 or 5 available weapons, I believe. And in the game itself, you'll be able to pair up with either a second weapon on hand that combines both of your weapons into one, or a second gun of the same weapon, which will turn it into a super powered version of that weapon. Yeah, so yeah, there's fire, standard shot, diamond triangle thing that locks onto your enemies and all that. Now this game has to be one of the most explosive games I've ever seen, and I mean not explosive just from pure out action. I mean explosive from probably the most explosions I've ever seen in a video game ever. I mean, every game really gets right into it. There are enemies everywhere when you very first start, and really, it just doesn't let up. It might for just a bit, but then it just gets right back into it. And the game also features a nice co-op mode also, which adds to it. But back to the explosions, man, there are a lot. For every enemy you kill, there's a huge explosion that borders where he once was, and they are everywhere, so there's explosions everywhere. When my sister first played this game, she literally screamed. She's like, "Wah!" Yeah, it was actually kind of funny, but so this really is an explosive game. It's fast-paced. It moves, and there are weapons everywhere, and it's pretty easy to get the hang of. Just run, A to jump, A to hang on to stuff, A to flip onto people, and just shoot. So, some birds from the sky will metallic-looking birds from the sky will sometimes drop power-ups for you, but not too much so that it's too easy. Actually, this is a relatively challenging game. And considering the amount of enemies there are, that doesn't really help much either. And co-op mode, you each get half the health you usually would. And so you're sharing your health, but you get 2 people to help you out, so it does help matter somewhat, I think. And when you come back, if you die, you can suck away half of your partner's health to respawn yourself. Just like in Super Smash Bros. Games. But, of course, his health does drop half. And considering you died first, doesn't exactly help matters. See, I guess no matter how you look at it, you'll always have one set way of health. And you won't be able to get more of it unless you use the cheats or you get some health power-ups from that metallic bird. But, then there's the boss levels. These are the weirdest looking bosses you have ever seen, especially this early on. I mean, the first boss is something that looks somewhat of a... yeah. Can't say it any better than that, except it's green and has buds at the top. So, aside from all that, then their next boss is a block. The next boss is a robot thing that shoots some kid out who's shooting his own gun out, which is actually incredibly hard. The next one is a series of like 4 or 5 bosses all at once that take place into weird robot shapes. And it's all high. This game is very fast-paced, very high speed, and it's an action game that just about any gamer would just love. So, if you're a turn-based man or woman, well, it might be a bit hard to adjust to the quick pace of this game. But it is very fun indeed, and I highly recommend getting it. And I mean really highly recommend getting it. It is just... If you've already played Sonic, and you get one other Genesis game, I'd have to say that game should be Gunstar Heroes. I mean, it even won the award for Best Virtual Console Game of 2006 by IGN. Despite the fact that they gave Super Mario 64 a higher score, but then again, IGN's filled with weird people who can't add, and I have no idea what's going on over there in Cali. But that's aside from the point. The point is, this is a great game, very fast-paced, very fun, and very addictive, which is really what counts in gaming. So, I proudly give Gunstar Heroes an 8.9 out of 10.